So for teaching open awareness practice, typically for most people, it's helpful to kind of start with an anchor to have something to come back to. So if we're using a metaphor of an anchor, so let's say we're sailing out in the open waters, and there's some waves from the momentum of the energy of the day. If you don't drop an anchor first, then I don't know, it's like 50-50 on whether you're going to kind of stay there or move around. I'm not a sailor, so please don't take this too literally. But but if you drop an anchor, even just for a little bit, and allow some of that energy of the day to do its thing and over time to subside, just naturally, then you can pull up the anchor after the waves have subsided a little bit, the waves of thought and emotion and frenetic energy. Not to say all thoughts and emotions are frenetic, but just to kind of give us some stability for a little bit, allow that energy to subside a little bit, and then pulling up the anchor to give us more of a chance to kind of stay in that area. Typically, open awareness practice is taught after having sort of an anchored practice, like the breath or the body scan, or walking can be an anchored practice of sensing into the bottom of the feet. Anything in which we're kind of bringing mindfulness to one thing or one type of experience, that can be considered an anchored practice. But then, most people will need that focus, that intention to have something to hold on to amidst the vicissitudes of life, of dealing with praise and blame, aversion and greed, fantasy and rumination, judgment. And so typically in teaching, it's good to start with some anchors. Usually anchors that are not too difficult, like sensing into the belly as you breathe, bottoms of the feet as we walk, different kinds of sensations in a body scan, different parts of eating, and then kind of moving into more difficult territory, like certain kinds of emotions, sensing into those emotions. Emotions can be temporary anchors. But open awareness typically is taught later on once you have a bit more of a foundation of focus and ability to sense into what's happening. What does it mean to sense into what's happening? Well, we sense into the body, whether it's pleasant or unpleasant, neutral, noticing judgments, adding curiosity and allowance, just kind of staying present, sustaining wakefulness over time. So we're kind of learning what that means. What does it mean to be present? And so we can practice being present with anchors. Whereas if you're kind of learning how to be present with any random wave that comes and you don't have an anchor, you might get caught up by the wave. You don't have that stability of mind, usually. That energy is probably going to take you with it for a while. Then you might find yourself on a beach in Tahiti, crashed up against the rocks. And so even with open awareness, I recommend even limiting the openness in the beginning to include types of sensations to be open to, just to kind of practice opening, but maybe not fully open quite yet, but opening to, say, anything within the realm of touch, sound, and breath, or something like that. So like, could be, oh yeah, what's here in terms of sound or sensations of breath or touch? There may be different experiences that arise over time in any of those three, say, categories. Or you can start with one category or two categories or three or four. But over time, opening up to anything within this experience of perception, mental volition, like thoughts, feeling tones of pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, different kinds of physical sensations, sensing into the elements of the body. This breath could be my last. Breathing, movement, hearing, smelling, seeing, sensing judgment, aversion, wanting, craving, tiredness, lots of energy, like whatever it is. So we can kind of open to more types of experiences, more types of categories. If it feels like it's just kind of hard to notice anything because I'm being caught by something that happened 20 minutes ago that I just keep ruminating on, or my to-do list, or maybe I just feel super distracted, then maybe open awareness practice, might be not quite the right practice for that time. Doesn't mean you can't try it or do it, but maybe something a little bit more grounded into an anchor or categories of anchors may be more useful, just so that you have some say focus. Of course, we can tend to the actual experience of being distracted. Like that can be an anchor. What does distraction feel like? What is this experience of distraction? What is this experience of not having one thing to focus on? Oh, it feels a little disorienting, or it feels really peaceful or freeing, whatever, so we can take anything to be an anchor, anything to be a part of, to be an object of mindfulness, including the thing that we may not like. It actually happened during that meditation for me, because I said something around, allowing sensations to arise. I was kind of like doing some allowing type of language. And right when I said that, we have a few contractors over here at the house, and they started like really talking loud right outside my door and like kind of banging up against the wall. And I was thinking, oh no, like, I hope people don't hear that. Like, and then I realized the irony of it. It's like, oh, here I am saying allowing whatever to arise, and here I am trying to get rid of, this experience. And it took me a couple seconds to realize that. I'm like, oh yeah, this too. Thank you, painters, for providing this stimuli for us to practice with. I should give them a tip.